The Final Four, this is the big time, and for big time basketball analysis, we bring in Brett Thompson. Brett, what do you got?
Well, I'm just going to cut right to the chase and talk about what happened this weekend. So there were three teams that UNC fans really wanted to avoid in the Final Four: Oklahoma, Kansas, and Virginia. But only one of that trio remains. Oklahoma took down Oregon, the top seed in the West region, on Friday night. Buddy Hield was dominant, scoring 37 points, including 8 three-pointers. That's scary. Then the top overall seed Kansas was by Villanova in the South region, something UNC fans and probably Roy Williams are happy about. The Wildcats used a 10-0 run in the second half to stun the Jayhawks 64-59. And finally, Syracuse surprised just about everyone with a huge comeback win over Virginia in the Midwest region. Trailing by 15 in the second half, the Orange used a 21-2 run to shock the Cavaliers. Syracuse becomes just the first 10th seed to make the Final Four ever. So the Heels will take on Syracuse in their third matchup with the Orange this season. The first game was at Syracuse way back in January, and Carolina broke open a tight game in the second half on the way to an 11-point win. Isaiah Hicks led the way with 21 points, and Bryce Johnson added a career-best 8 assists. The rematch came on Carolina's senior night, which UNC won by 5, and the Orange hung around tough throughout the game, but Bryce Johnson's double-double proved too much for Cuse. So after watching those two games in full, there are 3 things Carolina needs to do to put away the Orange and move on to the championship game.
1. Cut a hole in a zone.
Check out the spacing here. Bryce Johnson parks himself in the middle of the zone. Isaiah Hicks gets in position behind the zone, and Bryce finds Isaiah right here for as easy of a dunk as you can get. So they were going to go to step 2.
Put your ball in the zone.
The 2-3 zone entices you to shoot the 3. And let's be fair, UNC has been inconsistent from there all year long.
3. Make her open the zone. And that's the way you do it.
Carolina should do what the Heels do best: run. Syracuse is the 34th slowest team in the nation, and if the Heels can keep the speed up and make the Orange scramble, it could lead to a load of easy points under the basket. So before I finish hijacking this show, I need to address something that will inevitably come up throughout the week, especially with UNC playing Syracuse. National outlets will bring up the academic scandal and the seemingly never-ending talk of NCAA violations. They'll question why these teams get to play and what morality exists in a world where Carolina and Cuse can be in the Final Four. It's important to remember that, 1, Roy Williams' name only came up once in the notice of allegations simply to say he was interviewed, and 2, that these players have lived under the shadow of this for 4 years despite being in high school during the scandal. So Rivers, sorry about that. Didn't mean to kind of get intense there at the end. I know it was a little heavy, but I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this weekend.
It's all good, man. Fight hot takes with hot takes. That's basketball analyst Brett Thompson. Thanks, Brett.